Hello everybody, NeroX back again for another Minecraft and music video. Today's topic is going to be kind of, what's the word I'm looking for, contentious, I think? And it's quite simple. What's killing hip-hop? Now, I'm not talking about record sales or anything like that, because artists, like hip-hop artists now, are bigger than most artists like back in the day would have ever dreamed of being. Like back in the day, you were lucky to get a halfway decent record deal, maybe see royalties back on it. Now artists are getting endorsement deals from major beverage companies, fashion lines, clothing lines, their own labels. Independent labels are becoming huge. And, for all the good things it brings along, jobs, wealth to people, and a lot of people eating off of it, but it also, in my opinion, it's slowly but surely killing it. So I'm going to look at a few things that have slowly but surely started to die out with the huge, massive commercialization of hip-hop. And one of the main ones is variety. Now, I'm not going to knock artists individually, but I've noticed that a lot of artists, basically the top 5 of Billboard, a lot of their records tend to sound the same. Now, I don't have anything against anyone who finds a winning formula. I mean, Lil Jon pretty much has made millions of dollars just saying 3 words, yeah, what, and okay. That's fine. But, in my opinion, the lack of variety is really really hurting hip-hop's artistic feel. The second thing that I believe is personally killing hip-hop is too many avenues. Now, with the advent of the internet came the advent of multiple avenues for people to get their music out there and get noticed. And that's a good thing, And, with the advent of social media blowing up the way it did, artists now have ways to interact directly with their fans, promote themselves on their terms as opposed to on a label's terms. And that, again, in the right hands is a great thing. But because of the too many avenues, it led to my third thing, oversaturation. And the fact that there's simply just too many rappers out there, too many of which sound the same. Thank you, SoundCloud. And to go with oversaturation, there's also too many producers out there. Again, I'm not going to call anyone out there that make beats that sound exactly the same. Now, you could argue that the same problem existed in the 80s because, technology was still developing. Fruity Loops didn't exist. GarageBand didn't exist. The most you had was a turntable set, a drum machine, and a couple of microphones at best, But that's just like the oversaturation of hip hop with so many rappers out there now. Like everyone wants to be a rapper, and no one wants to be a singer. And not only that, you have the oversaturation, and because of that oversaturation, a lot of producers are just copying each other essentially, because that sound like trap rap or like stoner rap, it sounds hot. And you could make that same argument again to like the 80s. A lot of records from the 80s sounded the same, and I don't want to sound like a 90s hip hop junkie, even though I love a lot of 90s hip hop, but no 2 records sounded exactly the same in the 90s. Like on the West Coast, yeah, a lot of them do sound similar because on the West Coast, everybody was copying Dr. Dre when he got famous. So, but a lot of rappers had more distinctive flows, more distinctive rhyme schemes and patterns, and the beats ranged from sampling jazz records to sampling Parliament Funkadelic. And speaking of sampling, that's another thing that's, in my opinion, slowly killing hip-hop. Like the death of sampling. And the fact that, and again, I'm not calling anyone individual artists out here on this, but the lack of really sampleable music not getting into the mainstream. Because the problem we're having is we live in a rather risk-adverse time monetarily. So labels aren't willing to take chances on people because they haven't proved they can sell millions upon millions of dollars or million upon millions of units. But that's how the great things happen, by taking a risk. But that's my sort of spiel on what's killing hip hop. Can it be saved? Yes, it can. There are still plenty of talented producers out there. There are still plenty of talented rappers out there. But labels need to learn how to compromise and give the underground talent the play they deserve, because there are so many rappers out there that are underground that